What'd I tell you? We're still here fighting this thing. Hooga! Sorry, it's like my videos to have some sense of, oh my god, what is happening here? Time. I don't like going over 30 minutes, even though we have like a 40-minute episode at one point, but it's what it is. But yeah, we got to come to this, well, statue. Let's kill you guys first off, Fraggle. Okay, let's see. Kingsmouth Memorial Veterans Day. This is an interesting one. Kingsmouth, like so many other small towns across the country, lost soldiers in the Second World War. A quick glance at the nearby graves reveals that some veterans have risen as walking dead. Honor them by putting them back in their graves as soon as possible. There's also a rare spawn up here, so let's go take that monkey out. He's a big fella, though. Who are you? Lord Bittern? Hey folks, get out of my face. Thanks. And we always get out of my face, lady. You always get a drop box from these guys, which is why I like seeking them out. Oh hey, ravens. And more lore, very good. We're gonna continue the main quest we're doing for now, though we'll do Veterans Day later. Let's see, cold, dead eyes of the innocent stare at you from the gallows, their black gaze of mine, a mirror to the past and the future. I want to say it has to do with that, but I don't think so. I think it might be Longmore's Bridge, actually. Because knowing the history of the town, I believe Longmore killed himself? I'm not sure. Because I wanted to say, you know, the other lighthouse pier, whatever it was, because we did find a woman who had hung herself in a previous episode. The woman whose husband, you know, she had a pendant that made her immune to the fog, which is neat. I realized we just ran through an area with like 3 of the people we need to kill. So, yeah, Edwin the Dog Man. So let's actually just take him out. Let's drop that. Alrighty, so that's one of the people for Veterans Day. We'll grab the other 2 right here because we're literally running past them, just slight detours. Well, we can now go to the camping grounds of the... Oh, hey, Dead-Eyed Dan Williams. What's up, buddy? Let's buff up a little bit. Let's press R2 button because it's super strong. Wow, you've got a lot of HP. I don't like that. Alrighty, and where am I? Oh, there I am. Okay. It's the bridge. Okay, this is Longmore Bridge. So let's go over here. I think this is where the tank is. Yep, there he is. Is it Terry? Yeah, Terry O'Reilly, the Irish tank. Alright. Fight me, bro. Yeah, I can take you. Feel my ult. Sorry, I get excited. There's an attack we'll get eventually that makes like a column attack forward. I think that's really cool because I've never had anything like that before. And I think it said it guarantees a paradox, which is also pretty cool. So once we get enough AP, I plan to get that. So let's see here. Longmore Bridge, dedicated to the works of Kingsmouth Mayor John Longmore and to law, justice, and reparation. May the unquiet dead of the hangman span accept the lot passed to them in life and proceeded the next without sin. Yeah, he hung himself. It's pretty bad.
Additional assignment received. Initializing.
What? Defeat Draugr? Okay. Hello, sir. Hangman Spectre. What's up? What's up? Oh, that's right. I have Q that doesn't actually expend anything, so that's why I should actually feel safe. Press that D button! Yams!
That's all of it. The storm is past. For now. I don't know what lies at the end of this road, but it's not good.
Fair enough. This appears to have been a wild goose chase, I'm sorry to say. Granted, one restless soul sent back to the other side, but certainly not worth the time invested. This nonsense about Exodus is probably just the vivid imagination of a woman touched by flawed second sight, an anomaly, nothing more. We can file this under case closed. In your defense, no stone must be left unturned. Seek and ye shall find, they say. It holds true most of the time. Sonic. Alrighty. It looks like we get clothing this round. So let's see what we get. Cap with scarf. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, we're not wearing that. Nope. That looks stupid. Our hair is way too cool for that. Let's open up this bag. Let's fuse this health belt. Let's fuse both of them. And we'll get 2 levels out of that. Very good. And since we're here, let's just do this killing 10 Draugr side quest. And then we'll continue on with Veterans Day. Too bad it's not Garbage Day. Pew, pew, pew. If anyone knows that reference, I'm actually sorry, because it's terrible. And if you don't know that reference, just Google Garbage Day, or sorry, YouTube Garbage Day, and you'll be like, what the fuck? Like, if you've seen the movie The Room, you understand what a bad film is. This is also like The Room. I don't think it's as bad, though, because, I don't know, maybe it's just because Adult Swim doesn't decide to do a 24-hour block of playing just the Garbage Day film. I don't know if they do it anymore because I don't have cable anymore because, well, Netflix is enough for me, really. Dude, just go down. But when I was in my early 20s, I remember having cable and whatever, and their Adult Swim's guy would just be like, The Room, for 24 hours straight, and I'm like, why? It's a shitty movie. Who the fuck wants to watch it all day? It's a movie that a guy who essentially just has a ton of money, like in real life, was like, I want to make a movie, and it's a piece of shit, but he made it anyways. And so my guess is that he, you know, made a deal with Adult Swim. I don't know. Man, this punch is cool. So that's, now I was like, wait, why do I have this 2 button that's a lot stronger and hits more often? And it's because this one doesn't actually cost any resources, and that is lovely. It's a lot weaker, but totally freaking worth it. Get out of my face, son! I'll shoot you in the face, and it's gonna hurt! It's gonna hurt! Damn. Sorry, that's a Spock's Beard song called Hurt. Not one of their best songs, but it's still a good song. It's more of a basic song, I guess, because they're a big prog band. So they have some really intricate things usually going on in their music. But every now and then they write something simple. This is a field report thing. Bam. Open. Do a quick thing. Green can go up to level 20, by the way. Once we reach the next rank, which is blue, they will go up to level 25, I believe. I could be wrong. Let's kill some more veterans, because that's patriotic just a few days after the 4th of July. How bad of me to say, what is today's date? July 6th. So yeah, it just happened. I'm not much of a patriot, by the way. Sorry. I mean, I don't hate the United States. I've never understood the idea of patriotism. Like, I get it, I should say, but I don't feel it. And probably should just stop talking at that point, because some people are really patriotic, they get upset, and I completely understand. But yeah, I'm more about the people around me than this idea of a country as a whole kind of thing. Especially considering modern times are less than attractive. And I guess you could say that in any era, really, depending. But I happen to live in El Trumpador's era, which is weird. And I also lived through Bush's Jr.'s era. I don't know. I think I was too young to really understand the Bush administration, so I probably shouldn't really talk on that. I just know he was funny to listen to. I know he's actually a really smart guy and speaks really well now, but while he was president, he didn't speak well. Maybe it was just the pressure. I don't know. I'm going to stop talking about politics. Okay, thanks, bye. We're going to punch this bad guy. Zeb. Oh my god, he's breathing flames at us. Die! Yeah! Singularities! Another field report. Come on, we want story content. Flushed brochure, the coming dawn. A Kingsmith townie must have had strong feelings about the Morning Light project for this to end up down here. Okay, let's pick up this brochure. Come see us all, Angel Street Park. Now they're at Langmore Trail. What makes us human? I'm not reading that shit. Go to the Morning Light camp. Okay. I mean, we are done with Madame Roger, but I would like to actually go do the priest now, because he's got like 4 quests for us. He's a busy guy, but we are going to run down here just to get the quest out of our space, our log, really, because you can only have 3 at a time. So this is the Morning Light camp. You see they've got sigils to keep the undead out. Quite smart of them. Let's pick up this lore. Up to this, maybe? Yep. Yeah, do not ask me to like actually look in to read that. That is some small font. Oh wow, a self-help camp in the middle of apocalypse. How wonderfully American. Bugger off. The Morning Light is a new age movement that has grown exceptionally these past years. Their charismatic leader is Philip Marquand, a painfully dull man from what I hear. They make enlightenment sound so terribly easy. Life requires rolling up one's sleeves, I'm afraid. Of course, people don't want to hear that. Easier to just buy an overpriced DVD. Presto, happiness! Okay, cool. Thanks, and we get some stuff. Looks like we got a fist weapon. Let's merge that, and we can level up. Very good. New belt. No level up from that, but experience nonetheless. But what I want to do now is actually come back to this region and do the other, oh, stretching feels good. Do the other postal van quest and, you know, what it leads into. So we already did, I think we did all the stuff down towards the Creed area, which is really nice, actually. So, oh, didn't I say I was going to do Dawn of an Endless Night? I did. So, let's... The story doesn't progress terribly high until, like, rank 12 or whatever, so it can wait. It's just finding people and being like, whatever. So, neither snow nor rain nor zombies. The mail's probably... Oh, it's the same thing? Yeah, people want to get their mail. Cool. So, pick up the package and run over here to the church. Let's kill these bad guys. Let's power up and boom! Really? One guy had to stay standing, you jerk. You made my badassery go away. Mailbox, turn in. Quest complete. Another field report. Who is surprised? Hey, Christopher Martin, how are you doing? So let's talk to Henry Hawthorne, who, as stated in the past, is a bit of a fanatic of the Illuminati. So, a sacred place. According to Henry Hawthorne, the Kingsmith Congregational Church is protected by ancient Illuminati wards. Investigate the wards and try to figure out how they work.
Blessed are the meek, but doubly blessed are those who do the Lord's work boldly. It is through His grace that we find sanctuary in His house, when His house is besieged by zombies. Not to belittle the Lord's work, but perhaps the illuminated ones made this place a safe place through some conjuration of theirs. Blessed by the Lord, of course, or at the very least tolerated. Whatever the providence of our sanctuary, it extends no further than the doorstep. Even the cemetery spills over with the devil's spawn. I've tried prayer, I've tried my 44, but Satan's wearing Kevlar, and Bible thumping just pisses them off.
I really do like him, though. I mean, I think that's a really funny and neat thing for a priest to say. Having a 44 is also nice. So, draw zombies into the church like that guy just did. So, we're going to go gather our own buddies, and hopefully we don't have any freaking weirdos being like, oh, I'm going to help this guy out and, you know, make sure he doesn't get hurt. And I've had in the past where they've attacked My zombies. These are my zombies. So just run on in. I like to turn around and be like, ha 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 ha. Oh, I guess we got credit when that guy did it? That's cool. Well, I guess we got to study the first ward, which is right here. Alright, study the second ward, which is right around to the left. There might be some to the right. I don't actually know if it's mirrored. But you see it's a little different than the last one. It's a double triangle, apparently. Study the third one. Really, you attacked me, but not the dude you were standing right next to. What a jerk. It's because I'm playing a woman, isn't it? Jerk. I think this is it. Yeah, and this one's like slightly tilted, so you see they're a little different. Draw the first ward on the graveyard fence. Okay. Ah, bugger. Get away from me. E button! Oh wow, your neck's all messed up. So let's draw. And this guy apparently doesn't want us to draw. Q button, Q button. Yeah, paradox. I'm just gonna let this blow him up. Oh, feels good. Feels so good. I feel so numb, yeah. I used to really like Rob Zombie. I just stopped listening to him at one point. I don't know. Stopped listening to a lot of basic, like 4/4 music as well when I got into prog, so it's probably just it. Now we need to go back to... See, that's what I've always found weird. Like, you go to that one over here, and you do it, but then something attacks when you give up. So you go to the right, put the ward down, and it's like, oh, come back over here. And I'm like, what the shit? Why? Why can't I just do it again here? I don't know. I'm sure there's reason. I just don't understand it. Lastly, there's, well, a final one over here. Oh, during the Christmas event, there's a thing there. I think it was like a radio. I'm not sure. I think that was the Christmas event. It's been a bit. So come over here, put this ward in place. Essentially, we're just trying to make the graveyard safe as well, which is really admirable. Kill the Hulk. Okay. Sup, Hulkster. E button. Oh, hey, I knocked him over. Cool. The Illuminati Magi are all revisionists, but every now and then they do get it right. Kingsmouth holds more than its share of Illuminati secrets. Knowing their poor ties to tradition and history, we are as likely to discover these secrets as they are. The wards in the church are maintained by infused ancient symbols. Your attempts to apply them showed hopeless results, but these things cannot simply be replicated and reproduced. Advanced anima techniques require ancient foundations and years of accredited study. So we failed. And that's fine, but I think it's neat that they tell you that you failed. Let's place these in. Did we? Okay, so yeah, we're on bonus now. So we need to empower 6 items, meaning we are back to doing things one by one until we reach 6. Oops, no, keep that on there though. The other one is a belt. Alrighty, 18 minutes? Okay. So I've got 12 minutes left of this video, roughly. So we could probably manage to do the second quest of the priest. I'm going to actually take a break after this video. Oh, bugger. After this video because I'm hungry. Make a nice veggie sandwich or something. I'm still on my vegetarian kick. It's difficult, but not difficult. I just have to eat more often, but like when I see and smell meat, I miss it. But I'm not like, oh my god. Dust to dust. Henry Hawthorne alludes cryptically to a part of Kingsmouth's past rising to haunt them yet again. Someone is digging when they shouldn't, and they have to be stopped.
Kingsmouth is not a town without its blight, its fallow seasons. In times past, these lands have borne bad fruit. The demons are plucking forgotten apples that should have been left to rot on the boughs of Kingsmouth's tree, planted in unsanctified soil. By apples, I mean bodies. The tree represents, graves, and the unsanctified soil means, well, unsanctified soil. unmarked graves. Mass graves. They operated with rationale, our illuminated ancestors. I'm sure of it. I mean, who am I to question these men of action? Those men of God. Even if they did stumble in their faith, well, that can happen to all of us. We forget to say grace. We lie. We cheat. We fornicate. We do worse. We have more immediate concerns than being ministers of past sins. What they're digging up is something that should remain buried, hidden from inquisitive eyes and wagging tongues. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
And there we go. I really do find his religious stuff fascinating. As a Christian myself, not, the best. I mean, a lazy Christian, if that's what you want to call it. However, I have my belief structure, but my practices suck, is basically what it is. I find I always find it fascinating when you can tie in Christianity or any other religion, but Christianity for me, because I actually know about Christianity, so, I can be like, oh, I understand. Or if they talk about Islam or Hinduism, I'd be like, I don't know the basis, so I don't have the connection. Anyway, I love it when they can do this, especially tying God stuff to Cthulhu stuff. Kill 5 charred remains. You look pretty burnt up. Yeah. And which trial victims? I just love it when they can combine it, because I read a series. It was just 2 books, unfortunately. I wish it was longer. I forget the author's name at the moment, but it was The Thing That Should Not Be and He Who Walks Behind. In the first book, Cthulhu was the main bad guy. In the second book, Nyarlathotep was the main bad guy. So, very cool. Very cool stuff, because I love Lovecraft. But what they did in those novels was they explained how Cthulhu mythos and Christianity merged together. I found that really fun. The way it worked basically was the Cthulhu, or the Lovecraftian gods, all come to the earth. There were creatures here beforehand. They drove them out, blah, 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 or drove them deep into the sea, I should say. And then when God came and said, let there be light, that's actually what drove out all those Lovecraftian creatures. Now when you go over here and look at the second mass grave, so Cthulhu locked himself in his tomb on the island of R'lyeh, and, sunk it to the ground kind of thing, or into the ocean, I should say. And they kind of save the world by, when Cthulhu actually gets woken, or awakened, kill Blue Ridge Forgotten Watchman, okay? The way, when Cthulhu actually comes back to life for a short moment, someone speaks the true name of God, and that is what saves the world from Cthulhu again. Because apparently, according to the book, when God spoke, he spoke his name, and so I think that's just really cool to link, Christianity and Cthulhu mythos, because it's just fun for me to mix mythos. It's just a fascinating area, and they do bring up Islam and Judaism in that book as well. But to be fair, all 3 have the same God, so that's a pretty simple thing to do. I do believe they bring up, in that aspect though, God is not the only God, obviously. The Cthulhu monsters exist, the Hindi gods exist, and so I love that. So it's very much like reading a novel for the secret world, almost. Bugger, we just need one more thing. So that's why whenever religion is brought into these types of stories for me, I'm just like, that's so cool. Because I just love seeing the merger. I love seeing, instead of people being like, oh, God doesn't exist for the sake of this story, or oh, Catholicism or Judaism or Hindi or Islam don't exist for the sake of this story, you're writing in our real world. Those things need to exist. Whether they are myths of their own, or if they're real gods. And being real gods and real deities makes more sense if you're going to be introducing these immensely powerful old gods, such as, Nyarlathotep, Shednigurat, things like that. So it's just a real interest of mine. Now we're killing 5 suffocated miners. All these underage people, it's so sad. I'm kidding, I know it's a different type of miner. Wow, our number 2 is a lot stronger. Let's just run down here and fuck up these people's weekend. Come on, Draugr, you get down here. Press the 1 key. Press the E key. We've got a singularity happening. And I think we missed that guy, but we owned our faces all the same. So these Draugr are intelligent because they're operating or managing this digging operation. That's actually kind of terrifying. And we've talked about in status reports of the fact that the Draugr are learning and getting smarter, and we will actually do more quests that will iterate that, especially when we start working with the Orochi group. And that is just scary. Oh, really? It's done? I thought we'd have to go in another area. Here, let's actually go... Get away. Let's actually go back to the church before we read any of that, because I don't want to be attacked whilst reading. I think that's okay. Let's get out of this. Sorry, I keep yawning. My lights are off, so I'm in a relatively dim room. You know, just the base light from windows that are shuttered. Well, yeah. Okay. Anywho. They that go down to the pit cannot hope for the truth. Isaiah 38:18. All of Kingsmouth is a pit. These awakened remains, the witches, the miners, the cultists who burned each other, living and dead, are evidence of Kingsmouth's history and fervor and violence. Not all were evil. The witches, merely housewives, the miners, slaves to a paycheck, the cultists, weak-willed wanderers. What unites them all is Kingsmouth's particular breed of restlessness, one that is being dug up and wielded by the Draugr. The question is, to what purpose? You see that? The Draugr are doing this, and that is terrifying, because we're probably looking at them as large, bestial, stupid creatures, but apparently they can think. Do they have a hive mind? I don't know. Do they think independently? I don't know. But maybe the story will tell us more. Let's turn in this quest, collect our reward, see what we got here. We got a gun, might as well put it into our gun because of that bonus, and bam! How far are we from that? Okay. I would like, before I go into work today, to at least get the 100 monsters and the 6 item power up. So that should be pretty easy. But I'm going to call the rest of this episode. We will start that next quest we see right there on my reticle in the next episode, which will probably be me in like an hour or something. I just want to make a sandwich, do a little house stuff. I got some clothing to fold, blah blah blah. But hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate it. You know, please like and subscribe, share with your friends, all that cool stuff, because that does help me get more traction on YouTube when there are more views and likes and comments. All those things come together to help, you know, push videos of mine to a more findable area for other people that are also being like, oh, look at Secret World Legends. I already know there are people out there with thousands of views on single videos. I know I'm not going to beat them, but if I can catch some people, that's great. I love the community idea of this, but also I'm just having a lot of fun with this. So yeah, I plan to put out at least 2 to 3 videos of this every single week, so stay tuned for that. And if you have anything you can tell me that'll help me out, leave that in the comments, and I will definitely take your ideas and tips and what have you to thought. And lastly, as I asked in the last video, let me know how the volume is, because to me it sounds fine, but I simply don't know if I'm hearing things accurately, or if it's just how my headphones are. So yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.